Welcome into Factfinder Investigates. I'm Dylan Doming. Those summer-like temperatures have certainly arrived here in Kansas. There are growing concerns, however, for current drought conditions and water conservation. As Factfinder investigator Branden Stitt explains, if the state continues down this path, water restrictions will become a major priority.
Water restrictions are near.
It is still going to be a long ways before we can clear up that drought.
Now implementing a water restriction for its residents.
Many Kansas towns continue to fight to stay ahead of the drought.
Do you have grandkids? You know, do you want them to have water to drink?
Governor Laura Kelly updating a declaration of drought emergencies and warnings for several counties. And Wichita, the Sunflower State's largest municipal water supplier, is far from the all clear. Assistant Director of Wichita Public Works and Utilities, Don Henry.
Last time we were in this kind of shape was 2013.
Each year, Wichita treats about 19 billion gallons of water for nearly 500,000 customers. Half of that water comes from Cheney Lake. And just because we've seen some rain, the lake can't seem to catch a break.
Cheney Lake's been going down, 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 down. Now I think it's been 4 years.
You might be scraping the mud off of your bottom of your boots and thinking everything's okay. That's not the case.
Last January, the city moved to a stage 1 drought response with voluntary water conservation.
We really want to work together to save water and just use common sense on conservation.
Here's why there's such a push for water conservation now. At 67% full, this part of the lake is completely dry. And with water levels like this, Wichita is closely approaching a stage 2 drought response, meaning forced water restrictions.
Stage 2 is pending. It's out there a little ways. Could it happen before the end of the summer? It might.
The biggest way to start conserving water is to change how you water outside.
Did it rain? And I checked my own, my own little rain gauge. Okay, I got a ½ an inch. I don't need to water this week, and it's just extremely wasteful.
Breaking those wasteful habits will help us all in the end.
What we do now will help us in the long run.
For Factfinder 12, I'm Branden Stitt.
We have a Factfinder recall alert for Kia Telluride owners. More than 460,000 of the SUVs are being recalled because the front seats can catch fire. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says seat control switches on the front power seats can get stuck, sometimes causing a small electric motor that moves the seat to run continuously and then overheat. The recall involves 2020 to 2024 Kia Telluride models. Kia says that owners will be starting to get letters at the end of July with repairs that will be free of charge. Wichita Public Schools unveiling plans for the future of the district. Those plans could include a $450 million bond issue that would go to the voters. The district says the new bond issue would not raise taxes, but what does that really mean? Factfinder reporter Cale Chapman breaks down how this new bond issue would impact your taxes if it's put into place.
A $450 million bond issue that would not raise taxes.
While this is true, the $450 million bond issue would not raise taxes, but would extend the current tax rate over the next 20 years.
Potentially as many as 11 buildings could be affected. Some of them could involve some significant reconstruction. You know, that's a lot of money. And they right now have a plan that says that they are going to be able to build this bond on top of the existing bond.
What that would mean is the taxpayers would allow us to continue that current mill rate. So when we say there's no tax increase, it would just be a continuation on of the current bond and interest mill rate.
Meaning the bond that voters approved in 2008 would basically be extended.
We feel like we can finance this and lay it out for this would be a 20-year bond is what we're proposing. And we could keep the mill rate neutral for that bond because it's been so long since we passed the last one.
It's been 16 years since Wichita Public Schools introduced a new bond issue. And the current bond put in place in 2008 is almost paid off. If the new bond is denied, then taxes would drop after the 2008 bond is done. Friends University political science professor Russell Arbin Fox says he could see the bond getting support from voters, but historically, similar proposals have struggled in Wichita.
The last bond way back in 2008 passed with a very, very narrow margin. The last time the city of Wichita, tried to make a major effort to increase sales taxes in order to raise money for civic improvements in 2014, that went down to defeat.
In Wichita, Kiel Chapman, 12 News.
Now, we don't know when the bond issue could be brought to the public. The district is asking for public opinion on their plan in an online survey that'll run through June 20th.
I just really struggle with the conflict of interest of people who are making these decisions.
A look at how safety standards are set for baby products and questions over industry influence. That's next on Factfinder Investigates.